Subscribe to Feminism in India for your dose of intersectional feminist content, and make sure to hit the bell icon to get all the latest updates. In a world which is constantly telling young girls that their bodies are not perfect, that they need to watch what they eat constantly, and that their weight is a measure of their personality, to have PCOS was just not easy.
Every woman with PCOS knows that the blood-soaked underwear is the least of our problems. It's the unbearable cramps, the migraines, the pain in our thighs, our back and our pelvic. It's the constant puking and the nausea. It's the bloating, it's the acne and the overwhelming mood swings. It's the anxiety, the depression, and the list goes on.
The whole idea that you will not be able to get pregnant or you need to get married and get pregnant, I think all these ideas are destructive in nature.
Sometimes your parents think that, or the people who love you think that they do understand, but sometimes it's just your own things that you experience that you have to deal with, and only you can think how difficult they are.
I was diagnosed with PCOS at the age of 26, which is 3 years back.
I got diagnosed with PCOD when I was 16. I actually have PCOD because of another reason, because I have epilepsy since I was 8 or 9.
I was 19 years old when I first experienced PCOS. I was just about to complete one period cycle, and I remember it just wouldn't end. I remember spotting for days, and then days converted to weeks, weeks changed to months, and I remember I went at least 2 months spotting continuously. I freaked out, but at that point I was just not brave enough because it had to do with my reproductive system. I just did not have the courage to, reach out to a gynecologist because I knew the kind of questions that they're going to pose at me.
A lot of weight, a lot of pubic hair, and as you can see, a lot of acne on my face and on my back.
And today, if I've had very stressful days or if I hadn't had eaten right, I get my periods within 15 days. What would really help me is if a doctor who actually sat me down and explained everything without any biases or without infantilizing my pain or giving me medicines that would just help reduce my weight. Basically, someone who would hear me out and would not send me off by giving medicines to lose weight or to reduce acne.
So some of the challenges that my body went through was an unprecedented weight gain, and I experienced hair fall. I also started gaining a lot of body hair. Now all of this was in addition to the fact that it also took a toll on my mental health at a time and age when I actually did not understand that mental health is an actual concern, and this also needs to be taken care of. So I was confused. There were hormones raging inside me, and I did not know why.
Other challenge that I found, which I still continue to have, are period pains. They're devastating in nature. There are some months which are okay and I'm able to function normally. There are some days where I cannot get out of my bed and it's painful. I get nausea, I feel like throwing up, I have diarrhea, I have all the symptoms, and I am not a functional person those days. I think one thing that can come out of this is normalizing period pains, normalizing menstrual leaves for those who need it. And I think probably the conversation around that also needs to happen.
I am being constantly nagged for my weight, for my facial hair, acne, and other factors that by conventional standard makes me look less like a woman. The focus has always been on how PCOS has affected my physical appearance and never on PCOS as a disorder and how it mentally exhausts us. I've had horrible experiences with my gynecologist. I know women who have had to change multiple doctors just because all they would do is shame them for their weight or for having sex before marriage or for just not exercising enough.
It also affected my mental health because it made me feel insecure of my body, that how did I look in the mirror, or if I was able to wear the clothes that I wanted, did I look too fat.
I feel that my PCOS resulted from extreme stress that I gave to myself, not taking out time for myself. And in fact, my gynae even told me that if you can, you should take a break. And I think probably till then, I would have not thought of mental health. Or at least I would have not thought that I have mental health issues. I never realized I was under stress. I thought I was enjoying, and this is how you hustle. This is the hustle culture, and this is how you make it. But I think my body went to an extreme end to show me that I wasn't taking care of myself.
I was diagnosed with PCOS around the time that I lost my father. This was in the year 2016. And I believe all of these factors together worsened my mental health. I remember getting anxiety attacks and crying in front of my colleagues, my friends out of nowhere. I absolutely lost any control or any filter over my emotions. I experienced depressive spells. I would go completely silent. And I also had temper flare-ups, for which I had absolutely no explanation. I couldn't explain to the people around me why am I reacting this way.
And the toughest thing that we face with the society is that there's a myth or something that the girls with PCOD or PCOS can't have children, which is entirely not true. Yes, girls or women who have PCOD or PCOS might get problems, but the chances are never null.
The absolute lack of importance that we have placed on sex education in schools and in curriculum, such that the teachers are willing to just glance through or even skip that one chapter on reproductive health in our biology textbooks, as a result of which the students would just giggle through the class.
The conversation around consent, conversation around period pains, conversation around sexual reproductive health rights, menstrual hygiene, all of these needs to happen.
There isn't already enough adequate information on our sexual or reproductive health. There are many who still don't have affordable access to basic medical facilities. We have unqualified medical practitioners across the country. The stigma around infertility is still very much prevalent. There's so much discrimination against menstruating women. So there is an utmost need to focus on stories of women that speak of a wide range of health-related prejudices and practices and of their everyday struggle and lived experiences.